Can you effectively debug async Python programs? Have you ever wondered if you can effectively debug asynchronous Python programs? Well, the answer is yes, and it involves understanding how asynchronous programming works. Asynchronous programming in Python, often done using the Asyncio module, is different from traditional programming. In this model, tasks run concurrently, managed by an event loop. This can make debugging a bit tricky since the flow of execution is not straightforward. To get started with debugging async Python code, there are some essential steps you should follow. First, enable Asyncio debug mode. This built-in feature can be activated by setting an environment variable or passing debug equals true when creating the event loop. When you enable this mode, it helps catch common mistakes and log slow callbacks or input-output operations. You will also receive detailed warnings that are not available in normal production mode. Next, utilize Python's logging module and set it to capture debug-level messages. This allows you to see detailed runtime information about tasks and event loop activity. Logging is a great way to track the flow of asynchronous tasks and pinpoint where exceptions or delays occur. Handling exceptions properly is another important aspect. Use try-except blocks inside your async functions to catch and log exceptions. When running multiple tasks at once, you can use the return exceptions equals true parameter with Asyncio gather. This way, you can collect exceptions without stopping all tasks, allowing you to inspect and log them individually. Monitoring the event loop is also vital. Tools like Monitor and Console provide interactive ways to inspect the event loop and running tasks. This can help you detect issues like deadlocks or blocking calls during execution. Another useful tip is to take advantage of tracebacks and source tracking. The Asyncio debug mode can capture tracebacks for unhandled exceptions in futures and coroutines. This makes it easier to locate the source of errors, especially since asynchronous calls can obscure where exceptions originate. Avoiding blocking calls is essential as well. Blocking calls pause the entire event loop, leading to unexpected behavior. Instead, use Asyncio sleep to suspend only the current coroutine without affecting others. The debug mode can warn you if it detects any blocking calls. Lastly, start debugging with simple examples. Work with small, isolated async functions to understand their behavior before tackling more complex tasks. In practice, a typical debugging session might involve enabling debug mode, setting up detailed logging, and running your async program. Carefully examine logs and warnings to identify where tasks are slow, blocked, or raising exceptions. You can also interactively inspect the event loop state to understand task scheduling and completion. By combining these approaches, you can effectively debug asynchronous Python programs, making your coding experience smoother and more productive.